Elisa Lam was a young student, a traveler. She was from Vancouver, Canada, on a solo journey across the west coast of the United States. Her blog was filled with hope and excitement for the future. In late January 2013, her trip brought her to Los Angeles. She checked into a place with a long, dark history, a place known for death. She checked into the Cecil Hotel. This was not just any hotel, it was a place with a reputation, a place where serial killers like Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, had stayed. It was a place where suicides and unexplained deaths were part of its very foundation. We believe that buildings can absorb the energy of the events that happen within their walls. The Cecil Hotel is drenched in this dark energy. Elisa was looking for an adventure. She was exploring a new city full of dreams and plans. But the Cecil Hotel has its own plans. Its dark corridors have witnessed decades of human misery and violence. Some say the hotel is a magnet for this kind of darkness. It draws in the vulnerable. It feeds on despair. Elisa, traveling alone, might have been seen as an easy target for the unseen forces that linger there. She was a beacon of light in a place consumed by shadow. Her daily calls to her family were a lifeline, a connection to her normal world. But that lifeline was about to be cut. The hotel was waiting. The history of the Cecil is a story of pure darkness. It's a place where people have jumped from windows, where lives have been tragically cut short in its rooms. The energy here is heavy, oppressive. You can feel it the moment you step inside. We've investigated locations like this all over the world. They have a distinct signature. It's a feeling of being watched, of being unwelcome. For someone as sensitive and open as Elisa, staying at the Cecil might have been a terrible mistake. She was stepping into a web of paranormal activity without even knowing it. A place where the veil between our world and the next is incredibly thin. Her arrival seemed normal enough. She was assigned a shared room, but her roommates reportedly complained about her odd behavior. This led to her being moved to a private room on the 5th floor, alone, isolated. This is often when entities begin their work. They separate you from others, they make you vulnerable. Was her strange behavior a sign of a pre-existing condition? Or was it the hotel's influence taking hold? Was a dark energy already attaching itself to her, changing her, and preparing her for something terrible? The hotel had her right where it wanted her, alone and unprotected in the heart of its darkness. On January 31st, 2013, the routine stopped. Elisa Lam was scheduled to check out of the Cecil Hotel. She was supposed to continue her journey, heading to Santa Cruz next, but she never checked out. Her daily, reassuring phone calls to her parents in Canada suddenly ceased. Silence. The kind of silence that screams that something is terribly wrong. Her parents knew immediately this was not like their daughter. They called the police, and a search began. The Los Angeles Police Department was now involved. They searched her room, they searched the hotel, but Elisa was gone. It was as if she had simply evaporated into thin air. The initial investigation yielded nothing. Her belongings were still in her room, untouched. Her wallet, her identification, her phone, all there. This was not someone who had planned to run away. People who leave don't leave everything behind. The police used search dogs. They scoured the hotel from top to bottom, including the rooftop, but the dogs found no trace of her scent leading anywhere outside the building. It was a dead end. This baffled investigators. How could a person just disappear inside a hotel? It defied all logical explanation. The massive building had seemingly swallowed her whole. Days turned into weeks. The mystery deepened. The police were stumped. The family was desperate for answers. The media began to pick up the story, and the public became fascinated with the case of the missing tourist. The name Elisa Lam was now connected to the infamous Cecil Hotel, adding another dark chapter to its already grim legacy. The hotel itself remained silent, holding its secrets within its decaying walls. We have seen this before. Locations with this much residual energy can create confusion. They can hide things. They can manipulate what people see and what they don't see. The pressure mounted. The LAPD needed a breakthrough. They needed something to show the public, something to generate a lead. So they decided to release a piece of evidence they had been holding. It was a piece of video footage, a short clip that would not provide answers but would instead create a storm of new, terrifying questions. It was the last known sighting of Elisa Lam. This footage would become infamous. It would haunt everyone who watched it. The world was about to see Elisa's final chilling moments, and the mystery was about to get much, much darker. The video was from a security camera inside one of the hotel's elevators. It was dated January 31st, the day Elisa disappeared. The footage is grainy, it is silent, and it is one of the most disturbing things I have ever seen. The clip begins with Elisa entering the elevator. She presses multiple buttons, but the elevator doors do not close. They just stay open. This is the first anomaly. Elevators are supposed to close, hers did not. It's as if an unseen force was holding it open, trapping her there for a reason. Her behavior becomes increasingly strange. She peeks out of the elevator, looking cautiously down the hallway, first to the left, then to the right. She looks like she is hiding from someone, or something. She quickly retreats back into the corner of the elevator, trying to make herself small, as if to become invisible. But who is she hiding from? The camera shows an empty hallway. There is no one there. Is she reacting to a person just out of the camera's view, or is she seeing something that we cannot? A spirit, a demon, an entity only she could perceive? Then, her actions become even more bizarre. She steps out of the elevator again. She stands in the hallway. She begins to move her hands in a strange, unnatural way. Her fingers twist and wave as if she is counting or casting a spell. She seems to be talking to someone, gesturing with her arms, but again, there is no one there. It is a one-sided conversation with an invisible partner. This is not normal behavior. This is evidence of something paranormal. We believe she was communicating with an entity, a spirit that was luring her, manipulating her mind. After a few moments of this strange interaction, Elisa walks away to the left, and she is never seen alive again. Only then, after she is gone, do the elevator doors finally close. They open and close a couple of times as if they are now working properly. The elevator then proceeds to travel up to a higher floor. The footage ends, leaving the world with an image of pure terror. What was she seeing? What was she running from? The video provided no answers, only a deep, chilling fear that Elisa was not alone in that hallway. She was in the grip of something sinister. For weeks after the video was released, the mystery of Elisa Lam captivated the world. Theories spread like wildfire. Was it a mental health crisis? Was she on drugs? Or was it something darker, something supernatural tied to the hotel's evil past? While the world debated, a new gruesome problem was developing inside the Cecil Hotel. Guests began to complain. They said the water pressure was low. They said the water from the taps tasted strange. It had an odd sweetish flavor. Some said it was dark in color. For over 2 weeks, guests had been drinking, bathing, and brushing their teeth with this contaminated water. On February 19th, a hotel maintenance worker went to the roof to investigate the complaints. He went to check the hotel's 4 large water tanks. He climbed a ladder to the top of the main tank. He lifted the heavy, difficult-to-open lid. He looked inside, and that's when he found her. Elisa Lam's body was floating naked in the water. Her clothes were in the tank with her, seemingly covered in a sandy substance. The search was over, but the real mystery was just beginning. The discovery of her body created more questions than answers. It presented a scenario that seemed physically impossible. The rooftop itself was a restricted area. The door to the roof was locked and had an alarm system. How did she get up there without setting it off? The water tanks were nearly 10 feet tall. There was no fixed ladder leading to the top of the tanks. How did she climb up? The lid of the tank was a heavy metal hatch that would be difficult for a small person like Elisa to lift and close from the inside. How did she get in and then close the lid behind her? The coroner's report concluded her death was an accidental drowning, citing her bipolar disorder as a major factor. But the facts just don't add up. The official explanation feels incomplete. It feels too simple for a case with so many strange elements. How do you explain the elevator video? How do you explain her getting into a locked tank on a restricted roof? Some believe she had a psychotic episode, others believe something more sinister was at play. Was she pursued to the roof by a person, or was she lured there by a dark entity, the same one she seemed to be interacting with in the elevator? The Cecil Hotel holds the truth. To this day, the death of Elisa Lam is not a closed case for us. It is an unsolved mystery, a haunting reminder that some places are gateways to the unknown.